Nations around the world suffer from the impact of climate change, but the impact varies significantly in type, scope, and magnitude. Same problem, but different impact and at varying levels. Many of the nations in the global north, having attained significant progress in social and economic dimensions of development, made significant commitment and contributions to climate action. Moreover, nations in the global north contribute to more than 95% of the global carbon emissions that are responsible for climate change. However, the climate narrative about nations in the global south contrast with those of their counterpart in the global north. Nations in the global south are still grappling with social and economic challenges, hence the limited commitment to combating climate change. While developing nations contribute about 4% of global carbon emissions, they disproportionately suffer from the consequences of climate change. According to Professor Terry Tallas, WMO Secretary General, Africa is responsible for less than 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. But it is the continent which is the least able to cope with the negative impacts of climate change. Heat waves, heavy rains, floods, tropical cyclones, and prolonged droughts are having devastating impacts on communities and economies, with increasing numbers of people at risk. The State of the Climate in Africa 2022 report released by the World Meteorological Organization at the Africa Climate Summit in September 2023 paints a concerning picture for Africa. In 2022 alone, more than 110 million people on the African continent were directly affected by weather, climate, and water-related hazards, causing more than $8.5 billion in economic damage. Despite the contrasting variance in the climate profiles of nations in the global north and south, the intercontinental and transboundary nature commends a global effort in the combat of climate change. Nations in the global north and those in the global south must work together to bring an end to the menace, but how?